on Daf Peches Amid Aleph at the top, and we continue with the machlokes between the Chachamim and Rabbi Yossi on which day was Rosh Chodesh. Rabbi Yossi says Rosh Chodesh Sivan, at the year the Torah of Mon and Sinai, and Sarah Sadibros is given on Sinai was on Sunday. Sunday being Rosh Chodesh and Shabbos being the seventh day of Sivan, Zayin Sivan. And the Chachamim say no, it was on Monday, and therefore the Torah was given on the sixth day of Sivan. Tasha Masa, we're going to try and prove that. Come and hear this Bryce. At the time we learned the Seder Olam, in the Bryce of Seder Olam, which gives the order of the history of the world. Nisan Shabayatzi Yisrael Mitzrayim Ba'arba Asa Shachta Pischei Mechamisha Asa Yatzu V'Osayim Erev Shabbos. The Nisan, the month that Bnei Yisrael left Mitzrayim, left Egypt, it was on the 14th day that they shechted their Pesach, and on the 15th day that they left, and that day was a Friday. Umad Deresh Yachad the Nisan Erev Shabbos, and if the beginning of the month of Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Nisan was on a Friday, Reish Yarcha the Iyar, B'chad B'Shabbat. So 30 days later, so the first day of the month of Iyar, Rosh Chodesh Iyar, would have been on a Sunday. V'Sivan, B'Trei B'Shabbat, and 29 days later, because as we mentioned yesterday, every lunar cycle is 29 and a half days and some change. So if it's 29 and a half days, the first month would be 30 days. And then the next month, a half day would be, 2 half days would have been lost already from the 30 days. And so therefore the next month was 29 days. And therefore Sivan would have been, the Rosh Chodesh Sivan would have been on a Monday. Kashel Rabbi Yossi, which is a question to Rabbi Yossi, who said that Rosh Chodesh was on Sunday, making Matan Torah on the seventh day, and this Brisa tells us that it was on the sixth day. So Rabbi Yossi says, indeed, that Brisa is according to the opinion of the Rabbanan, who say that it was on Rosh Chodesh was on Monday. Tashma Rabbi Yossi Omer B'Sheni Allah. Come in here because the Rabbi Yossi says on the second day Moshe went up to Shammai, Allah Moshe v'Yorad, and he came down with a message. B'Shlishi Allah v'Yorad. On the third day, and on Tuesday, which is the third day of the month, he went up and came down with a message. B'Dalad Yorad v'Shuv le'Allah. On the fourth day, on Wednesday, he went up. He came down and didn't go back up. If he went up, he came down. He must have gone up first. So if he didn't go up first, how did he go down? What it means is he went back up again and came down. And that was the last time he went up until Mon and Thursday. On the fifth day, he built a mizbeach upon which he and his nephews, the young the Atzile, brought them karbanos. Vikriv olive korban, they brought a korban. Bashishi, on the sixth day, which would be Friday, lo hayla panai. They had no time. My lama shum Torah, wouldn't you say? Because that's when the Maimer Sinai Aseros Adibros. That's when Hashem said the 10 Commandments. Lo mishum Torah Shabbos. No, the reason he didn't have time was he was preparing for Shabbos. So again, this was we see Rabbi Yossi saying that it was on Shabbos the Torah was given. Mon and Sinai, Aseros Adibros, the 10 Commandments, 10 statements by Hashem, were on Shabbos, and it goes through the days of the week in preparation for that.
So they had just gotten Hilchos Shabbos, the Shabbos before, right? So this is really like the
Shabbos before they were in Refidim. Mara was a couple of weeks before.
Oh, so Mara was 2 weeks before?
Correct. in any case, so we have this machlokas between Rabbi Yossi and the Chachamim. Rabbi Yossi says that it was the 7th day of Sivan that that Ma'amad Har Sinai took place, and that was, but they all agree it was on Shabbos. And the Chachamim say no, it was the 6th day of Sivan, essentially arguing whether Sunday or Monday was Rosh Chodesh. Everybody agrees Shabbos, the Torah was given. Darash Ahu Glila, Alei de Rav Chisda. In front of Rav Chisda, someone from the Galil said a drash. Brich Rachmana, the Avlan Uryan Tlita, La'am Tlita, Alidei Tlita, Biyam Tlita, Biyarcha Tlita. Blessed is the compassionate one that gave us the Torah that is 3, a trilogy, Torah Navim Iksuvim. La'am Tlita, to a nation of 3, the Kahanim, Levim, and Yisraelim. Al Yedei Tlita, according to, by the hand of the 3rd, by Moshe, the younger brother of Miriam and Aaron. Biyom Tlita, on the 3rd day of the separation. B'yarchet Tlita, in the 3rd day, in the 3rd month of the Hebrew calendar. Command. So his opinion is this, Rabbana, and this takes us back to the Mishnah, which is the machlokas of whether or not the separation was a 2-day separation, and the 3rd day already the Torah was given, or rather there was a 3-day separation. The 4th day is when Ma'amad Har Sinai happened. And this is going to be this drash in front of Chisda by the Galilean, by the Hahu Galila, saying this drash of 3s is according to the Rabbah. Once we finish this discussion of when Ma'amad Har Sinai was, the Gemara is going to go into many different drashas in regards to Sinai and Torah. Vayisyatzvu b'tachta sahar. So the Torah says that Bnei Yisrael stood beneath the mountain, and beneath the mountain, obviously in the simple meaning means that they stood at the foot of the mountain on the ground, and the mountain was in front of them, and they encircled the mountain. But the drash is, since it says b'tachta sahar, beneath the mountain, that the mountain was over them. Amar Rav Avdimi bar Chama bar Chasa, that the mountain was over their head like a barrel, like a basket. And Hashem said to them, if you accept the Torah, that's good. And if not, this shall be your burial place. And as Tosa points out, obviously they already accepted the Torah. The meaning is that the magnitude of such an experience of Ma'amad Har Sinai, as we'll see later, where they heard the voice of Hashem and their souls left them in connection with something so kaddish, so holy, so divine, that it left no ability for people to not keep the Torah, not accept the Torah. How can somebody experience that and not be fully moved? And as such, really, the acceptance of the Torah at that point, even though they had already stated that they accepted Na'aseh v'nishma, we shall do even before we hear what it is. Nevertheless, it is the magnitude of Har Sinai was above them, and the recognition that this is their only ticket to real life. This is our life and the length of our days, and that recognition made it that it was really without full free will. And this is a get out of jail ticket. This is a statement from the Torah saying, look, we didn't have a choice. The magnitude of Ma'amad Har Sinai is such that that's why we kept the Torah, that we received the Torah, but it wasn't totally out of free will. Amar Rava, but Rava says, but there came a time where the magnitude of the Ma'amad Sinai was gone, and the majesty of that moment was not there anymore, and the revelation was not there. Rather, we saw Hashem hidden behind the mask of history and behind the mask of events. And that was in the days of Esther and Achashverosh, where after Hashem brought about the miracle, we couldn't see Hashem in Revelation like Ma'amad Sinai. Nevertheless, we accepted the Torah again after that great miracle. The Chsifra, it says, Kimu v'kiblu ha'Yehudim, the Yehudim upheld and accepted. Kimu, they upheld Masha Kiblu, that which they accepted, Kvar, that the acceptance of Sinai was reestablished without the magnitude of a revelation, but rather where Hashem is seen only through the events of history and the events of the physical world, and yet we continue to accept the Torah, and that is a full-hearted acceptance. You, from the heavens, you you made heard the law, and the earth trembled and was afraid. So, if it was afraid, why was it silent? And if it was silent, what was it afraid of? First it was afraid, and then it was silent. What was it afraid of? Like Rish Lakish said, by all the days of the week, it says Yom Risha, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, first day, second day, third day. And when it comes to the sixth day, what Shabbos complete, sixth day is complete, and Shabbos comes, and it says Yom HaShishi, the sixth. Which so it's a particular sixth. Which sixth? The Hey Hayidiyah, Hey Yisera Lamali. What's the Hey teaching us? Malamed Shehisna Kadosh Baruch Hu Ma'aseh Bereishis. It tells. It's a completion of the 6 days of creation, and Hashem tells the 6 days of creation, this is my condition for you. You can continue to exist on condition that Bnei Yisrael accept the Torah. But if they don't accept the Torah, bring you back to Tohu and Bohu. And since that was a moment that Bnei Yisrael needed to accept it, so the Aretz, the land, was trembling out of fear that it will go back to nothingness. At the moment that Bnei Yisrael said, first Naasa we shall do, and then Nishma we shall hear, and the total acceptance of the Torah, 60,000 angels of service to each one of the Bnei Yisrael accounted. Kashrula Shnei Kesarab and put 2 crowns on him. Echad Keneged Nasav, Echad Keneged Nishma. To everybody in Klal Yisrael got a double crown, one for Naaseh and one for Nishma. Mekiva Shechatu, but once they sin in the golden calf, Kiva Shechatu Yisrael Yardam Me'av Esrim Ribim Malachi Chabala, 120,000 angels of destruction, and Opirkum, and took it off of them. One angel of Shares, of service, could bring 2 crowns, but each angel could not take away 2 crowns. They can only take one, so they need to double the amount. Shenemar says, Bnei Yisrael lost their glory, lost their jewels from Mount Sinai. And Chorev, it was put on them, as it says, like we said, and when it was in Chorev that they lost it, the Chsiva is Natzlu as Bnei Yisrael. Bnei Yisrael lost their glory. And Moshe took all of them and received them on behalf of Klal Yisrael. They remained with Yisrael only that Moshe, the teacher, now had them and needed to pass them on and show their glory. And it says that Moshe took his tent, and eventually they will be returned to us. For it says, Hashem Yeshuvon, and those redeemed by Hashem will return. Uva'u Tzion Marina, they will come to Tzion in joy, in song. The Simchas Olam al Rosham, and the joy, the happiness of the world of the past is on their head. Simcha Shemei Olam al Rosham, the simcha that they had, the glory of these two crowns that came at Sinai, are going to come back upon their head. What are these crowns? Rashi uses a word of Ziv Shechina, the shine, the glory of Shechina, and Tessus uses Hod, beauty and shine. Either way, it's a spiritual glory crown of connection with Shechina. At the moment that Bnei Yisrael said, we will do and we will hear, and they said their commitment to doing even prior to listening, the heavenly voice came out, the heavenly voice said to Bnei Yisrael, who taught you this secret? Who taught this secret to my children? This is the secret that the angels use. The Chsifer says, my angels, mighty in strength, who do his will, capital H, who do his will, to hear his will. Angels, the powers of the world that Hashem created, all don't have choice. They do the will, and then they hear. They are committed to doing what their jobs are. So too, we took on that level of commitment. First the doers, and then only after Lishma to hear. What does it mean like tapuach on the trees of the forest? Why are Yisrael, Am Yisrael compared to the tapuach? To tell you, just as this fruit, the tapuach, its fruit come before the leaves. So to Yisrael came, they said Nasa before Nishma. Now, Tosus already points out that we can't translate tapuach, the apple, as we generally do in modern Hebrew, tapuach being an apple. We can't say that because the apple has a floret before it has the fruit. So we can't say the fruit comes before the flower. Rather, Tessus points out that this is the esrog, which if left in a forest, meaning it's an untended tree, the fruit can remain on the tree from one harvest to the next, so from one growth to the next, and the obviously there too there's a flower, and then there's a fruit. However, the fruit is still on the tree before the new flowers come, and then the new flowers come. And so Bnei Yisrael were the same. At first, they needed to grow in Mitzrayim, but once they came out of Mitzrayim, they They don't need the protection of the flower, but rather they're there already, and then the next flower comes. So to Bnei Yisrael, they said, Nasa, the relationship with Hashem is so strong that we have the ability to be there we don't need the protection, and the protection comes afterwards. The nishma, listening to the Torahs, because we're committed beforehand, and that's the meaning of this. Ketapuach Batzei Ayar. Hahu Tzeduki. There was a Tzeduki. Some say that it was a min, not a Tzeduki. The Tzeduki were a group of Jews. The minim were no longer Jews, usually early Christians. The Chazi L'Rava, the Kama'ayim Shmaiti, saw a Rava who was studying a halacha. V'yasva be'etz be'isa the other Tusikari, and he was sitting on the ground, and his fingers were beneath, his thighs. A kamayitz buhu, and it was and his thighs were putting pressure on it. And it was either he was losing his blood, or he had bruised it, and there was blood. In any case, Amale ama paziza de kadmisa pumaychel adnaichu akati bechazusaichu kaimisu. He says, what a nation that's thoughtless, just acts without thought. You committed to your action before you even heard what the mission is, and you're still in your thoughtlessness, because here you are, you're focused on your learning. You don't even notice that you're injuring yourself. You should have first listened to the words of Hashem and then decide whether you can accept it or not. Amalei, so now we turn the page to Pechesam and Beis. Amalei Anan, the Sagina Bishlemusa. We follow Hashem wholeheartedly, and therefore we don't have to hear first. Whatever Hashem says, that's what we do. It is our will to do your will, and that is it. Whatever Hashem says, we do. Ksivban, therefore it says about us, Tumas Yesharim Tamachin, the purity of the upright, that's what guides them. And that's it, the purity of heart to do the will of Hashem, regardless. Hanach Inshi. But these people, the Sagam Ba'alilusa, who scheme with Hashem and decide whether or not they want to follow Hashem, Ksivbahu, by them it says, Maselach Bogdim Yaste, and the falsehood of those that are treacherous, they get stolen from them, from the word shaddad, to be robbed. Amar Shmuel bar Nachmena Rabbi Yonasan. Rabbi Yonasan said, what is the meaning that it says in the pasuk? You brought me close to your heart, my sister, my beloved. You brought me close to your heart with one of your eyes. What does it mean with one of your eyes, not two eyes? So over here, the reference to two eyes is not the two physical eyes, but the two types of sight, the physical sight and the sight of the mind. First, you brought me close with one of your eyes. When you do it, it's with two eyes. First, you accept it in the mind, and then when you do it with your body as well. So it's also your physical eyes. So we were brought close to Hashem with the spiritual seeing, and then with the physical seeing. Ama ula aluva kala mazana b'tochu pasa. How disgraceful to a bride to have an affair right under her chuppah. And that's Am Yisrael who had the golden calf right at the foot at Sinai. Amar Amari Berad the Bas Shmuel. Rav Mori, who was the grandson of Shmuel from his daughter Rachel, as it's not so common in the mention of Chachamim to be called the son of the daughter of someone. But as we've seen before, Rachel Bas Shmuel was taken captive. Isser, by a man named Isser Giura. Isser was her captive, eventually impregnated her, and Rav Mari was born of that pregnancy. Eventually, Isser changed his ways, converted, and he himself became a student of Shmuel and of the academies. Is quoted in the Gemara, Isser Giura. And Rav Mari is the grandson. And so Rav Mari, the grandson of Shmuel, the son born from this captor and captive, says Me'ekra. Which verse do we see in regards to Bnei Yisrael, Mekala, the bride, having an affair under the chuppah. It says in Shir Hashirim, Acham Melech b'Mesiba, while the king was still at the party, Nirdi Nasan Recho, my nerd, my spice gave away her scent. Its scent. So even though that the simple meaning is it gave off its scent, meaning not that it gave it away, but it gave away its scent. And that means that Am Yisrael had the glory, but while the party was still going, while the wedding was still there, gave away its glory. Amarav Vaday Mechavivusehi Gaban. And still, it doesn't say that it lost its scent, it said it gave it away. It doesn't say that it went sour, just said that it gave it away. And that shows that even after the sin, there's still a belovedness. Taner Rabbanan, the Brisa, in mentioning the previous statement, mentioning the disgrace. And so the same word, we have a Brisa that teaches the teaching of Torah to perfect a person and to make them in control of themselves, the strength of character. So aluvim ve'enem olim, somebody who is disgraced by others but does not respond. Shomim charpasam, they hear their disgrace, others shaming them. Ve'enem ashivim, but do not respond. Someone who has a complete control of themselves, that they don't lose who they are, and then they're not reactive, but they're consciously and conscientiously active. Osim me'ava. So therefore, what they do out of love, out of connection to Hashem. And when there's pain and painful moments come to them, they are joyous because they know that all these are challenges to do good. About them, it says, V'ohavav, and those that love Hashem, they are like the sun in its coming out in its strength. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan said, "Ma'idich siv." What is the meaning of the pasuk that says, "Hashem yitein omer amavasas tzvarav"? Hashem gives statements that foretell good news, foretell to a great army, to a great tzava, to great powers. It says that every word Hashem yitin omer, Hashem gave statements, and they spoke to each one of the nations. Every statement of the Seres HaDibros, of the 10 statements, was said in a way that every one of the nations, that the 70 languages, it was split to 70 languages, meaning that all peoples of the world could hear it. And like a pickaxe can break apart rock. The way Rashi interprets is just as this pickaxe can split a rock into many bits. So too, every one of the words that Hashem spoke was split into 70 languages. Amar of Hanana bar Papa. Hanana bar Papa said, what does it mean when it says in the pasuk? And this pasuk is in Mishlei. Shimu ki negidim adaber. Listen. And what the simple meaning would be: listen to the princes I speak, to the negidim I speak. But it could be that another way of interpreting is not that I speak to the negidim, but the words I speak are negidim. Lama nimshul Torah kenagid. So why is the Torah compared to a nugget, to a leader? Just as a prince has the power to give life and to kill, so too the words of Torah, they give life or they take it. This is what Rava says. For those that give it its strength, it's on their right side, meaning they work on it in strength. It is something that they use for for a strong guide. It is their focus. Samadachaya. It is a potion of life. For those that push it aside and make it secondary and passing and really degrading the Torah as worthless, some of the Musa. So then it is a potion of death. Davarachar, another interpretation of that verse, Negidim. What does it mean, Negidim? Like princes or nugget? Kol dibur v'dibur sheyatzem epi HaKadosh Baruch Hu koshem le'shnei kasarim. Every one of the words of Torah, that of the 10 statements that Hashem said, every one of the words had 2 crowns on it. So that's Negidim. They were multiple crowns, multiple princes on each one of the words. As we will see later on Daf Peites, that the words themselves physically have crowns. And what are the 2 crowns? Some say Torah Shebechsav and Torah Shebal Peh. The oral Torah and the written Torah is on each word. There are other interpretations as well. On Rabbi Shubal Levi, Rabbi Shubal Levi says further, we're going to go back to the verses from Shir HaShirim, from Song of Songs. Maidach Siv, what is the meaning of the verse? It says, Tzurur Hamor Dodi Li Ben Shadai Yolit. Like a bundle of myrrh spice is my beloved to me, and between my breasts he lays. What Amra Knesset Yisrael Fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We know that this Shir HaShirim is a love song between Am Yisrael, the collective, the spirit of Yisrael, Knesset Yisrael, and Hashem, and the Bnei Yisrael. Knesset Yisrael says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, Afal Pi Shem Meitza Romei Marli, even though Tzuror Hamor, which is the bundle of myrrh, is the drash is tzuror, angst and narrowness, and more is bitterness. So even though that I deserve punishment because of bondage, of tzara and bitterness on account of my actions at Sinai, Bein Shadai, nevertheless dwell between my breasts. And this is a metaphor for the Mishkan, for the tabernacle. Yet, and immediately after that, really a lack of faithfulness at Mount Sinai, at Sinai, Hashem says, "Go ahead, build the Mishkan, and I will come and dwell amongst you." And so that's the dwelling with us. And as we know, the Gemara tells us that the two rods that were in the ark, in the Aron Kodesh, the Aron Abris, the Ark of the Covenant, and the 2 rods would go from one end of the room of the Kodesh HaKadoshim to the other end of the room of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and the curtain in front of it, so the 2 rods would protrude or cause an indentation in the curtains, and it looked like 2 breasts to show that we are nourished by the Torah, by the covenant from Hashem. And so that's this metaphor over here. So Hashem will dwell amongst us in the Mishkan. Eshkel HaKofer Dodili. A cluster of Kofer is my beloved to me, Becharmi Engedi, in the vineyards of Engedi. So what's that metaphor? Misha HaKol Shelo, or Ish HaKol Shelo, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Eshkol, is Ish Kol Shelo, the master, that everything is his. HaKofer, who can forgive. The word, the meaning of Kofer is forgiveness. So he Mechaper li alavon Gedi. Becharmi Engedi, in the vineyards of Engedi, is a play on of Ein Gedi, Avon Gedi, the sin of the calf. You know that the word Gedi is often mistranslated as a kid goat, but Gedi is not only a young goat, but it's the name for any young of an animal. So he will forgive me for the sin of Gedi, of the young calf. Shekaramti li, what is karme and Gedi? That I bundled for myself, that I piled on. And me'e mashma, the high karme, listen to the machnish. How do we know that the word kerem, which usually means a vineyard, really means clusters and bringing together? Amar Mazuta Bereder of Nachman Kedatnan, like we learned, Kisa Shel Kovesh Shekarma Lavas Hakelim, like the table that the clothing washers, the launderers use to pile up their clothing, or they would smoke the clothing to get rid of lice and to give it a good scent, and they would do that by laying out one garment on top of the next, on top of a net, and burn something beneath it so that the smoke goes through the clothing. And so we see that karmim means to bundle up. Rabbi Shuba Levi further said, what's the meaning of this verse in Shir Hashirim? L'chayav karugas abosim. His cheeks are like rows of spice plants in a garden. So kol dibu v'dibu sheyatzem u'priya HaKadosh Baruch Hu nismal ha'kolelim kula b'samim. L'chayav, his cheeks means the words that Hashem spoke. For every word that Hashem spoke at Sinai, the entire world was filled with incense. Well, if it was already filled at the first word, so what happened for the second? For each one, Hashem had a wind that from his storehouses that he allowed to blow through and remove the first incense and bring another. Shanema first says, his lips are roses that drip more over, that pass through, and more is spice. So Al Tikra Shoshanim, not his lips, don't read it Shoshanim, his lips are roses, but Shoshonim, his lips are the teachers. His lips that teach are dripping Notvos more over, which is past. So these go through. And this is the opportunity for the entire world to be nourished and be enhanced by Torah. And those moments pass, and Hashem gives more opportunities. Every statement that came forth from the mouth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yisrael, our souls left us. Shenema, for it says, Nafshi yatsa b'dabro. My soul left me when he spoke. You hear the word of Hashem, so an experience that is entirely spiritual. That's the word of the divine, and the soul cannot be contained in a physical body at that point. It connects to its source in such a great way. Well, if they're at the first word, their souls left them. So how could they be there for the second one? The answer is Hashem Horid Tal Sha'asid La'aches Ba'mesim Be'echiyos. Hashem released, let's say, a dew that is going to be used for Techiyas HaMesim, the resurrection of the dead, and revived Am Yisrael at that point, essentially bringing them back into their physical being. Shenema, for it says Geshem. This is in Tehillim. Geshem Nadav Tanif, a rain of gifts. Hashem waved at them. Tanaf Elokim Nachalascha V'Nila Ata Kananta. Your nation, your inheritance, as it were, your portion, Hashem, Manila, who were tired, who had passed out on account of your word, Ata Kananta, you set them upright. Rabbi Shuba Levi further said, every statement that came forth from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Chazar Yisrael Acharem Yud Beis Mil, they moved back 12 mil, an enormous they were blown back enormously far away. And the angels would move them back into a place to come back to Sinai. For it says Malachi Tzavokas Yidodin Yidodin in that Tehillim as well, which is talking about Har Sinai, and it says that the angels fled, but instead of saying the angels fled, Al Tikri Yidodin, they fled, Ela Yidadun, they helped us run back. Mamar Shuba Levi, and Shuba Levi said, when Moshe came to Har Sinai, went up to receive the Torah, Hashem told him come up a mountain, and Moshe came up. At that moment, Amru Malachi Asharos of Nekadosh Baruch Hu, the angels said before Hashem, Ribbonu Shalom, Master of the universe, Mali Lud Isha Benenu, what is someone born of a woman, a human, doing amongst us? Amalehem, Hashem responded to the angels, the Kabel Torah. He came to receive the Torah. Amru Lefanov. So they said to Hashem, Chemda Ganuza, a beloved item, a gift that has been stored away, that has been hidden away. Sheganuza Lacha, Chameos V'Shivim V'Abba Doros, that has been hidden for you already for 974 generations prior to creation, prior to this time. Kodem Shenivra Olam, or Kodem Matan Torah, different versions of what this says. But it's already 1,000 generations nearly that this is waiting. As the pasuk says, that this has been hidden to Hashem le'elef dor for 1,000 generations. Minus 26, whatever that's a Gemara in Chagiga. We'll leave that. But for 1,000 generations, this is hidden for you, Hashem. And now, you want to give it to flesh and blood, to a human being. Ma enosh, and that's what the pasuk says in Tehillim. Ma enosh kisif kerenu ven adam kisif kedenu. What is the human that we should remember him, and the Son of Man that we should give him a mission? Hashem Adonenu ma'adashimcha b'chol ha'aretz asher tanohot chal hashamayim. Hashem, our Master, how mighty is your name on earth that you should give your glory unto the heavens. Leave the Torah with us. Hashem said to Moshe, respond to them. If we want the Torah, Moshe has to represent why we should have the Torah. He said, Master of the universe, I'm afraid of them. They may burn me up with the words of their mouth. Hashem said, grab onto my throne and respond to them. Connect with the Shekhinah, with the throne, which is the presence of Hashem in this world, and then you can respond. Shenemar, as it says in this pasuk in Eov, Ma'achez Pnei Kisei, grabbing onto the front of the chair. Parshas Anono, Hashem spread his cloud of glory over him. Rabbi Nachman said, Melamed Shapira Shakai Miziv Shchinosei V'Anone Olav. Hashem spread of particularly the name Shakai here, spread of his Shekhinah over Moshe, and it was like a cloud protecting it. Amru Lefanav, so Moshe said to the angels, in front of Hashem, he said, Ribbonu Shalom, Torah she'ata nosen li maksivba. The Torah that you are giving me, what is written in it? It says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher tzitzicha me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am Hashem, your God, which has taken you out of Mitzrayim. Amalehem leMitzrayim yiradtem lefarish dabatem Torah lama teilachem. Were you in Mitzrayim? Were you enslaved? What do you need the Torah for? It's not a claim on history, because it's not because they weren't a part of the history, but what do you need that for? You're not in development of going through Mitzrayim and becoming a nation and developing into a purpose in the world. Shuv maksiba, what else does it say in the Torah? Lo yeh lecha le'machirim. You should not have other gods. Are you amongst other nations that you need to be able to maintain and contain yourself and know your mission and not be carried away? So again, this is not a claim in history, but a claim on purpose. So this is what the Torah is for, and you don't need that. Shuv maksiva, whatever. Now we're on Peitas Amud Aleph at the top. What else do you need? Does it say in the Torah? Zechores Yom HaShabbos l'kadshon. Remember the Shabbos to make it sanctified. Do you do work every day that you need to rest? And tomorrow we'll continue the questions Moshe has to the Malachim. What else is in the Torah, and why would you need it? And the Malachim's response to Moshe and to Hashem, in Hashem giving the Torah to Moshe.